everyone. I am Raven M. Harris, and welcome back to the channel Reset, where we talk all things about change, evolution, and just how to reimagine, reinvent yourself and to be the best version of yourself by making some changes. So today I'm talking about motivation. Motivation is one of those words that's always kind of had like a funky kind of feeling with me, right? It's just like, what do you do when the motivation is gone? When I think about motivation, I think about being on a high, being up 1 minute, and then you can easily be down the next, right? Because it's like, does it stick? I remember back when I was in school and even at work, right? They bring in motivational speakers. A lot of these speakers in school were to get us all amped up to be high performers, do well on our standardized tests. And then at work, they bring in speakers who give us some kind of rah-rah story, typically with some type of book they were promoting and or selling, help to encourage us to, I would look at it as make the company more money and really delve deep into our work and just, again, be more high performers. And I remember always thinking okay, well, this sounded good in the moment, but as soon as that moment or that 25-minute speech was over and you had to go back to class or you had to go back to your job, it's like reality, right? Sets back in. So I've been thinking about, okay, so motivation. So I looked up the definition, and motivation is kind of like the reason behind acting or behaving in a particular way, right? So it should be kind of one of those start with the why, but it always felt in every experience that I've had very surface level because it felt momentary. So what I'm always curious about is what do you do when the motivation is gone? Because I don't know, when you sign up for the gym, right? And you oh, okay, I'm gonna pay my activation fee, my membership fee, and then I'm gonna pay my monthly fee. Or, at the top of the year in January, everybody's new year, new me, new body, all that type of stuff. You're motivated, you're pumped. And then, they say before even February 1st hits, half the people that started going to the gym, they're not going anymore because the motivation is gone. It's like hype. It's like an adrenaline rush, and then it's gone. And I've been trying to work on, for myself, how do I coach myself out of this whole motivational thing, right? Because I've been there, I'm excited or I'm pumped. And then, life happens, and the excitement, the pumpness, whatever I had that was let's do it, it starts to wane. And another thing that kind of has never set well with me, they were well, so what would you describe kind of what you're doing? What are you doing with the podcast Reset with Raven? What are you doing with this channel? Are you a motivational speaker? And I've always been no. They're well, isn't that what you're doing? And I'm no, I don't want you to have some rah-rah temporary oh, this feels good for this 5-minute video or for this 30-minute podcast. I want people to actually go out and make changes, dramatic changes to their lives that give them fulfilling lives and that, really help move the needle forward. Not something that gave them a 5-minute or a 35-minute high. And one of the words that came to me is inspiration. And by definition, because I looked up inspire is really about filling people up. Kind of like that song, Fill Me Up. Fill me up to do something, that's creative. Fill me up to, it's breathing air, breathing new life. That's what this channel is about. That's what I think people need, right? When you're empty, when you're low. I don't know that a rah, for the moment is the thing that fills you up. It's very kind of kicking the can down the road, what's actually accomplished. So I just wanted to share that with anybody who's oh, I need some motivation, or I love like a motivational speaker. No, maybe you actually need some inspiration to be filled back up where you're low, where your tank is on empty, and just breathe air into dreams, goals, ideas, whatever you have going on. And one of the things I want to leave you with is kind of the term of opportunity cost. How I've been coaching myself when that motivation leaves. I've been saying, okay, Raven, what do you lose by not taking that particular action? What could you have had if you would have gone to the gym? What kind of body could you have had if you'd gone to the gym? What kind of mind could you have been available to you if you would have read the book instead of watching, reality TV? Where could you be 6 months from now if you just work on growing and developing yourself versus sulking in situations that, really you have no control over? So that's what I want you to think about. Like when you're thinking about motivation, it's like that, it's good and all, but it's temporary. Motivation to me is one of the things that's like treating the symptoms, but it's not actually treating the problem. So I just wanted to let that breathe for everyone that's listening today. Let's think more about inspiration. What inspires you to be the best version, the highest version of yourself, not motivation.